I'm emo right now. I just got back from the club. It's like 3:30 in the morning, but I have a story. And I was just, let me get this in a good spot. I don't know. I just want to be able to see my crown. But I was just taking pictures on my camera. And so I was like, I have a story time actually. So I was taking pictures on this camera in my room after the club before I take off all this makeup. Look at that. That's going to take a long time to take off. So I was like, I should take pictures before I take it off because it took a long time to put on. Blah, blah, blah. And so I was taking pictures on this camera, and then I have a story to tell. Anyway, so the other day, I overdosed on caffeine. I think I can say moderately, actually. I think I moderately overdosed on caffeine. And so what happened, it was scary. I was like, my mortality came into question, like, let me see what I wrote in my diary. Well, I'm not gonna get to that first, but it was scary as fuck. Like, let me fix my hair. So I will tell the story now. So I'm a person who doesn't drink caffeine. I never got into coffee in my life. I don't drink caffeine, ever. I mean, I'll drink it in like a bubble tea or like a soda or something. But also, this is so cute. Also, so I don't drink caffeine. And so I went to the gym after work or whatever it was. And as I'm pulling up to the gym, I realized I forgot my water bottle. And I looked around my car. I'm like, do I have anything? And I had one water bottle, but it had a chewed up piece of gum. There was a chewed up piece of gum in the water bottle. And I'm like, I don't know how long that's been there. I'm like, I'm just not going to use that, right? And so I'm like, well, I'm already here. I'm just going to go in there. And I know that they have a refrigerator in there. And it sells drinks. And you can buy drinks. And I'm like, I'll just get... I was like, okay, so here's the thing. My sister drinks Celsius every day. She just drinks it every fucking day. And so I was like, oh, they have Celsius here. Well, okay, this is the thing. There's a water fountain at the gym, but they don't sell bottled water. So if there was a water in the case, I would have gotten it. But there wasn't. So I was like, Celsius? I'm like, my sister drinks Celsius. I've never tried one before. I don't have a water today. I might as well buy the Celsius. So I bought the Celsius. Mistake number one. And I don't know. So since I don't drink caffeine, I'm like ignorant to how it works. You know? So I just looked at the side of the can, like the nutrition facts, and it said 1 serving. I didn't look at like the milligrams of the caffeine. Because I don't really know what that translates to. But I'm a fucking idiot. But I looked at the serving size that said 1 serving. So I was like, sure. Sure. So I went to the treadmill and I walked for 1 hour. Because what I normally do when I go to the gym is I just walk and read My Chemical Romance fan fiction while I'm walking on the treadmill, to be so real. So I did that. I did what I always do, and the only thing that changed was I had a Celsius instead of a water bottle. And it was fine. Like, I didn't really feel anything. I was just going about like normal, and I didn't chug the whole thing. Oh my god, like I did not chug it. I sipped it over an hour because I needed it to last in case I was thirsty. You know? Like, that's the whole reason I got a drink, is so that it's like, that's just what you do. You have a drink when you go to the gym because you need to stay hydrated. So I didn't chug it. I drank the whole thing over like an hour. And everything was fine while I was there. But things went bad when I was driving home. So what happened is I got in my car and I started driving home, and it's only about like a 9-minute drive, maybe like less than 10 minutes, but I'm on the highway driving, and all of a sudden I feel the exact same way I felt as when my exhaust manifold broke in my car several years ago. And there was this time I was driving, and it's been broken for like several weeks, and I was like driving, and it was like rush hour traffic, standstill, and it's just like not good to like be standing, and like the exhaust manifold's broken and the fumes are flowing improperly. And so there was this time where I had been driving back then and I just felt lightheaded. And so what I did is I called my boyfriend at the time. I was only about a minute from my house, but I called my boyfriend at the time. I was like, I think I'm going to pass out. I need you on the phone right now, because if I just stop responding, I'm literally in a car that's in drive, like. And so I drove home. I was only about a minute away. I was like down the block, so it was fine. But then I went to my neighbor's house, and he monitored me and stuff, and I was fine. It was all good. I just took a walk. But this time, it felt the same, but almost like worse. And it also wasn't going away the way that it did, like when my exhaust manifold broke. Like, it was lingering. And so what happened is I was driving on the highway, and all of a sudden I felt like lightheaded, like I could lose consciousness at any moment. And then I was like pinching myself. I was like, is it just me, or I'm like, can I actually not feel my arms right now? And I like rolled down the window and I like put my arm out. And I was like, where did my feeling go? Where did my feeling go? I was going numb. The caffeine was so intense. I was going physically numb. And I was like freaking out. I didn't even know what was happening. But then I went home. It was crazy coming off the exit, and like my foot was like kind of limp. I'm like, that's not how I always stop at that exit. Anyway, I get home. I'm fine. Well, I'm not okay, but I get home just fine. And then when I'm in the house, I'm like looking it up. I'm like, oh shit, I think I have caffeine toxicity, or like I overdosed on caffeine, is what I can gather. Yay. And so the way my night went is that I just like well, I feel like I was moderately poisoned because I was numb. Lightheaded. Oh my god, I also had shortness of breath. So I was like I was breathing deeply just to get my breaths in. It's fucking crazy, because I talked to my sister about this afterwards, and she doesn't even believe me, because her experience with Celsius is so different than mine. She's like, are you sure it wasn't something you did at the gym? Are you sure it wasn't blah blah blah? I'm like, the only thing that changed in my life was that I drank a Celsius. And she's like, I don't know, it's never happened to me. I've never had any of that. I'm like, and I'm just like, what do they put in this fucking drink that made me go numb, gave me shortness of breath. I wasn't nauseous, so I was able to hydrate, but it gave me diarrhea. And what else did it do? Oh, I don't know. But just going numb, fucking crazy. It's like I don't drink caffeine in my life. Like, I'll drink it sometimes if it's in something. But I'm not ordering, like, caffeinated things purposefully. But what am I trying to say? Like, I've had things that have caffeine in it in the past, you know? And that's how I found out that I'm, like, sensitive, or I, like, don't like it. I don't know. But none of those times have I ever had an experience like this. Like, the experience I had with this Celsius is something I didn't know that the human body was capable of feeling from. I just didn't even know. I don't think anything's ever made me physically numb like that. It's fucking crazy. Like, oh, what the fuck? Like, I didn't even know that that was a possible outcome. You understand? Like, that's crazy. Like, my experience with caffeine in the past is I think I found it in high school. I'd go to Dunkin' Donuts after school with my friend, and so we'd go to Dunkin' Donuts and I'd get a coffee. And I realized, oh shit, getting a coffee makes me tired and actually want to, I like can't stay awake. And some people say that means you have ADHD, but I don't really know. I'm not convinced. I mean, I'm not saying I might, you know. But I don't know. I've never looked into that. But that's what they say when caffeine makes you tired. But that's all I know. Like, that's the worst caffeine has ever affected me. It's never made me fucking numb. And then it's like, that was Wednesday. It's like Saturday, and I still feel like this arm, my right arm, still feels like kind of numb. I'm like, did I like pinch a nerve? Did I like break a blood vessel? Because caffeine makes your veins constrict or something. I'm like, I'm just like, what the fuck? So it's just like, yeah, of course this would happen to me, you know, of course. And so, like, yeah, that was just crazy to have had experienced from a drink. And then afterwards, I'm learning, oh, I mean, like, 400 milligrams is how much a human is, like, limited to having in a day, and Celsius was, like, 200. Plus it has, like, other things in it. Taking off all my bracelets. It was fucking it's crazy. And stupid of, I mean, maybe I'm a dumbass, because I should have just had no water for the night. No water would have been better than a caffeine, but based on the ways caffeine has made me feel in my life in the past, this experience was not even in the realm of possible outcomes of me drinking a caffeinated drink. Like, I didn't even know it could be this bad. Literally, I'm just gonna go back. I wrote in my diary while this was happening. What did I say? This is what I said as I was tripping out, like, deep breathing, like, shortness of breath. Like, I was freaking out. This is what I said at the peak of the caffeine poisoning or overdose or whatever the fuck. It says, one of the worst nights of my life, hands down. I am in distress and facing my mortality. The caffeine is terrifying me. I'm numb. I have numb limbs, shortness of breath. I feel bad. This caffeine sucks. I've never experienced this effect before. I can't believe my sister drinks these so casually. I had no clue. It says, I even read the serving size on the label, and it said 1 serving. Oh my god. Worse than drunk or high. Worst drug I've ever taken seriously. the shallow breath and the numbness. I'm trying to do deep breaths and drinking. What is this even fucking? Oh, and drinking cups and cups of water. Get it out. I will never forget this. One of the worst moments of my entire lived life. So, yeah, that was just a really bad thing that happened to me. And that's, I'm free, except this is the one I wear permanently. It's a little piece of jewelry that I got. It says Mikey on it. It's engraved. This is permanent. Like, I wear this every day forever. Like, it's a heart, if you can't tell. Duh. Anyways, I almost fucking, and I also didn't go to the doctor or follow up or anything. Like, it's like my arm is still numb. And like, did I pull my muscle constricted? Did pinch a nerve? Did some, but I'm like, it still kind of feels like pins and needles when you take a nap. But like my arms are like the same color as what I'm like closely observing, so I'm like, my circulation isn't fucked up, so maybe it's just a nerve and it's like how I'm perceiving my arm. But absolutely psychotic experience. Terrible Celsius. And yeah, I guess I overdosed because it's like it's an overdose. And that drink is not meant for people who don't drink caffeine already a lot, I guess. I mean, it's called 2 cups of coffee is what I realize it's equivalent to. But I've like had 2 cups of coffee. It's something else. It's something else. Anyway, I was just taking pictures on this camera before I go take a shower, and I was thinking about that story. Yeah, have you ever gone numb? Has your body ever gone physically numb, tingling, and stuff from caffeine? Let me know, because that was scary, and I keep asking people in my life, and some of them are like, yeah. It's like, why am I still numb? I'm not going to the emergency room. My health insurance, I only, I have to pay 20% of the total cost, so I don't want to go pay 20% of the emergency room bill. And open enrollment for health insurance, open enrollment ends on the 15th. And this whole thing's got me like, maybe I should get a new health insurance. So I can go to the emergency room if I need to. Yeah, I should get new health insurance. And then I was eating a pistachio downstairs in the kitchen, and I'm not an idiot. Break the shell, you eat it. Break the shell, you eat it. And then like I was eating one, and I did not eat the shell. I don't suck on the shells, but I took the nut out of the shell, ate it. But for some reason, it was so extremely hard. I feel like I hurt myself, and I don't have dental insurance either. I pay out of pocket at the dentist these days. But it's like, that's because I have like very good teeth that I don't need to worry about. But it's like if something just happened to me, it's like, open enrollment ends on Friday. Open enrollment. Fuck the concept of open enrollment. Can we just get a fuck you to open enrollment? Like, why can't I get insurance whenever the fuck I need it? Why does it need to be November to January?